Hello there and welcome to my cooking class. It's Jacqueline. It's Thursday, it's 3 o'clock and it's time for us to make a fun meal today. I am traveling and so I'm making this in advance, and I basically asked my husband, do you want this or do you want this? Now, I'm not showing you hands, but anyway, what he chose, because I knew I hadn't done a cooking class on this before, is we are going to today make our Yaki Udon. What is Yaki Udon anyway? Well, it's a Japanese dish. Basically, it means fried noodles. And these noodles actually became really popular after World War II when there was a scarcity of food. And it happened in southern Japan where this fellow actually used udon noodles and fried them up with some vegetables and some protein, and thus we get Yaki Udon. So let's get started with this. First off, I am using my saute pan, but if you have a wok, feel free to use the wok. The reason I'm using the saute pan, in all honesty, is because I have an induction stove and our wok is not induction, but our fry pan is, our saute pan is. And I love this because of the deep sides anyway, so it's going to work out just perfectly. So feel free to either use the saute pan or the wok, depending on what stove you've got. Okay, so what are we going to do with this? Well, we do need to mix up our mixture. And as you know, Epicure's products, all of our products are 100% gluten-free, but we've done all the guesswork, taken it all out for you, saved you a ton of money, because inside each package it's a flavor pack of amazing spices that are, oh gosh, they're fresh, they're flavorful, so much better than probably what you're buying in the grocery store right now, because let's face it, the product there has probably been manufactured, sat in a wholesale place, then moved to a distribution center, and so on and so on. So ours at Epicure, you'll notice that the first thing that is a big difference between ours and the store-bought packages that you find is the fact that most of the packages you buy at the grocery store, in fact, all of the ones I looked at, actually said that it had silicon dioxide in it. And silicon dioxide is put in there because it's an anti-caking agent, because it sits and sits and sits forever. You don't need that in Epicure. Our products are fresh, healthy, and we make them and get them to your home ASAP. So you'll notice I've got some chicken in here. I'm just going to let it sit for a minute. There's roughly about 2 tablespoons of oil in the bottom. And I'll just let this cook up a little bit. And while that's being worked on, let's get back to our little package. So our package mix, as you can see in here, is flavored full. I'm using our small little nesting bowl. These are sold in sets of 3. I'm just going to add this in there. And we're also going to add some gluten-free, low-sodium soy sauce. So I'm going to grab my 4-in-1 spoon, and we're going to throw a couple tablespoons in. Stir that up and set it aside. That's what I love about Epicure. Now, just think about this. If you were to do this from scratch, how many jars would you have out? Right? 1 package. So as you can see, I've got the chicken cooking. I'm using our flipper. I have not really showcased this much, but I do love it. How many of you, if you opened up your drawer, would find a plastic flipper? And let's face it, plastic, when you stick it in heat, melts. I'm sure you know this. Some of you maybe have gotten really resourceful and maybe grabbed scissors and are now trying to clean off the end. But I'm going to tell you, this is got a very, very fine, sharp edge, which I love, especially for flipping eggs. I am a huge morning egg person, and I love the fact that I can actually get underneath the egg and flip it. It's not melting in front of in front of your fry pan either. So we've got our chicken cooking up. We're basically just stir frying it. If you had a wok, we call it stir fry. I'm just calling it frying because I'm using the saute pan. And we're making sure that this is cooked. This should not take long. So I should have told you earlier that I had thrown a couple tablespoons of the seasoning mix in with the chicken so that it's got the flavor. So if you're wondering why is it sort of already browned already, it's because of the flavor pack. This is the other one that I have for our liquids. So Yaki Udon, as I mentioned, includes noodles. Now these noodles I've pre-cooked, and these only take, I buy them in the fridge section at my grocery store. They're usually found where my mushrooms are in my department anyway, and you just have to cook them in hot water for 3 to 5 minutes so that they're cooked. So I've already pre-done that. I didn't think you needed to see water boil, but I can add this into my chicken. And that's 2 packages of the udon noodle. We're also gonna stir fry some veggies. And I do throw the noodles on with my veggies because I like having my noodles get a little bit of a crunch to them. Well, not a crunch, but I've removed some of the excess liquid that I've got in there. So I'm just going to toss this a bit and let it cook up first, and then I'm going to add my season pack. Now, when it comes to veggies, there's a couple things that you can add. Of course, with Yaki Udon, I totally believe everyone eats with their eyes. So I chose little green, these are snap peas, but you could use broccoli if that's more up your style, if you wanted to just use frozen peas, but maybe get some green coloring in there. I've got some peppers, and I had a 3-pack, which was red, yellow, and orange. The orange was the first one I grabbed, and I just thought, well, that's a perfect color. And then, of course, I love mushrooms. Love, love, love mushrooms. As you know, I've told you many times before that if there's an opportunity for you to get the cremini mushrooms, which are basically white mushrooms that have gone to a different stage and they've sort of dried out, you're going to get a much better umami flavoring. I love, love, love getting cremini mushrooms. So we'll just stir fry this a bit. And then we're going to pour our sauce on. And last but not least, we're going to add one more veggie. So you can see that this feeds a lot of people. Now, I was laughing because earlier today we were talking about how many servings do you get out of a Kraft mac and macaroni and cheese dinner. That box is supposed to feed a family of 4. You've made it. I'm sure you have. Was that a meal for 4? Totally not. But as you can see, when we say it's a meal for 4, you can totally see that our sizing is appropriate for meal serving. So anyway, this package is just seasoned this much, 4 servings of this. You can see that I have all these flavorings, and these are tender crisp now, which is exactly how I want it. So this, in my opinion, is cooked to the point where I like it. I am now going to add my mixed sauce. Now remember, the mixed sauce was just done with a little bit of water. That's pretty easy to do. And the season pack. So we'll add that flavoring in. Maybe grab your saute pan because we want to make sure we scoop out all that great flavor. And last but not least, what we're going to do now is we're going to add in some shredded coleslaw. Now I'm a big fan of red cabbage. So if you wanted to buy one of those packages of coleslaw, you could, but you're roughly going to put in, your cabbage, about 4 cups of that. Just stir that up. Now you can see totally the flavor profile now. Just going to turn the heat down. If you want, because we're seasoning up the cabbage, and of course cabbage is a little bit more dense, I would encourage you at this point to grab your lid, put a lid on it, and let it just simmer for a little bit while you go set the table. And we'll have this plated very, very quickly. So I've grabbed a plate. I'm going to use my grip and grabs. I'm going to turn the temperature off here. And now it's just simply a matter of scooping this delicious flavoring into your bowl. Remember, this has your chicken. I used thinly sliced chicken in here. I've added my veggies. I'm going to make sure I've got some nice color in here. And I've got my peppers. And there you have it. There's your Yaki Udon, an amazing, tasty Japanese noodle bowl. Cannot find udon noodles? Grab any type of bigger round noodle. You'll probably find something at this store. There might be a Shanghai noodle or something, but it's intended to be like the thicker, rounder noodle. Okay. Thank you so much for watching today's cooking class. There you have it. Japanese Yaki Udon. Thanks, take care, and bye for now.